Hey yogis, Tina here. Hope you're having a good day so far. Class today is going to be a quick little flow. We'll start off grounded, pretty easy stretches, and then we'll get standing and work a little bit more body heat. So let's get started in child's pose. I like the knees really wide, and then sink the hips back and stretch the arms forward. The forehead comes down to a block or a pillow, but try to rest on something. Big breath in to fill the lungs up, and then sigh that air out. Begin to take a few more deeper breaths, calming the parasympathetic nervous system, letting the body be heavy and grounded into your mat. Then come to tented fingertips, hover the forehead just a bit off of the mat, and take a walk towards the right. You can then slide that right elbow closer to you, reground the forehead, and walk the left fingertips away. Use that inhale to reset back at child's pose, tented fingertips. Now we're going to take a child's pose, thread the needle. So that right arm is going to thread under your left. You can come down to the side of that arm or shoulder and see if the side of the head can gently rest down. And now climb the left fingertips forward. Still allowing the hips to drop back. Pull that left hand in front of your face so that you can stamp into that hand and just float that right arm up for a moment. You could circle your wrist. And now let that right arm pull you all the way up to seated. Drop that hand behind you and left arm comes across for a twist. Now let the left arm float up and back. So you're finding that arching in the spine. And you can take this one step further by really stamping that back hand down and letting the hips float up. Lowering the hips, turn to face forward and walk the hands out. So tabletop, the knees will come more towards centered, so they're underneath the hips. And on an inhale, allow the belly button to drop down towards the mat. Lift the gaze. And on an exhale, curl under. So press the mat away from you and tuck the chin. Inhale. And exhale. One more, breath in. And exhale. Then come back to center. The right leg kicking back, toes are pointed down, hands are pressing the mat away from you. Take an inhale to lift the leg and the gaze. And on an exhale, we're going to curl under, knee to nose. Inhale, kick back. And now this time, exhale, bend and let the foot float up towards the ceiling, imagining your head might be tapped by the toes. So inhale, straight leg. Exhale, curl under. Inhale. And now the opposite. Exhale, float up. Another one. Inhale. Exhale, curl. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Good, straighten that leg back so toes are still pointing down. Kickstand the left shin wider, and now we're going to stack the hip. Right hand can get lighter up to that hip, and then reach it overhead. Good, now let that right arm Float all the way forward beyond the top of the mat, and then drop that right foot down and feel that stretch all along your right side. Now we're going to take one tap, so lift back up. See if the right elbow can crunch towards that right knee. Bring it in towards center. Yes. Inhale, extend it nice and long again. Good, let's take one more of those. Exhale, pull it in, really feel those muscles. And inhale. Good, lower the foot, drop the hand down, and what we're going to do is climb the hands off the right side of your mat, and then let that left shin react. So you've got a 90-degree angle. The right toes are pretty much in line with that left knee, and we're going to take a variation of your wide-legged downward dog. So keep everything where it is, but just walk the hands out in front of you, and you may be able to let the forehead rest down on the mat. Good, pick up the forehead, and similar to what we were just in, let's thread that needle so the right arm goes underneath. You may be able to lower the side of the head down again. If it's not, and it's a little bit lifted, keep it floating for a moment. Unthread, walk the hands under your shoulders, and then hands come up to your hips. Take a sweeping inhale, rise up. And let that right arm drop inside the leg, and take your side body stretch. Both hip points pressing forward. As you come back to center, basket hands behind the head. Support the head and neck, get a little taller, and then take your dive back. And center. Let the arms go wide. So the hands will travel back to the top of the mat. Let the feet react so you can step your left foot back for your high plank pose. And then send those hips high. First downward facing dog. Take a big bend at the knees and feel the tailbone rise. Spin the elbow creases forward so you really feel the shoulders lock in. And then one at a time, you can drop the heel, matching every movement with a breath. And then a full breath without any movement. Bend those knees even more than they are. Float the heels really high, look forward. And then lightly step, feet top of mat. Flip the palms for your first fold. Tuck the chin towards the chest. With your next inhale, pull your heart through. The knees can still stay soft as you rise up, sweep the arms. And then exhale, lower everything, hands at heart center. Taking your sun A, breath in to rise. And fold forward, exhale. Step, step, high plank. And you can take it modified with the knees down. Let's float the toes if you're taking that variation. Shift forward, bend elbows, chaturanga. Pause wherever you are, squeeze those elbows in, press the crown of the head forward. And then inhale, extend the arms, upward facing dog. Pause with your heart forward now, crown of the head to the ceiling. And then tap the toes down and lift downward dog. Then let's float left leg in the air for your three-legged dog. Those toes will stay pointed down. And on your exhale, keep your down dog, curl under left knee towards nose. Really try to press the nose towards the knee. Inhale, three-legged dog, and just like we did before, bend the knee. Now look forward, and you've got your scorpion dog. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, curl. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, in. Exhale, really feel the spine articulate. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, three-legged, float that back heel and step through. The left foot can press a little wider, the right toes can shimmy back. And we're gonna pause here to take your twist. So that right hand is down or it's on a block. Left hand slides up to that thigh and take your twist. Stacking shoulders, left arm reaches. Just be conscious that the right hip is not dropping down to the mat. Left hand lowers for a beat. We're coming up high lunge. Directly into your warrior two. Letting the shoulders be soft. Hips dropping between the feet. Reversing your triangle, straighten the leg, reach left arm up and back. Or moving between those. So the exhale, sink into your warrior two. And the inhale, lifting up and back. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale to pause. Come to center, rest your hands at your hips, left toes parallel in, right toes back. So you've got your warrior two, but let those right toes pivot a little further towards the side. And we're gonna spin onto the ball, that back foot, so you've got your high lunge facing the back of the mat. And we'll just be here for this particular shape. Let's exhale, twist to the right. The left arm will come across to the thigh, right arm reaches straight back. And see if you can lunge a little more into that front knee. You can take it one step further by floating the right arm up and then across. So you're adding a twist and a lateral stretch. Unwind to come forward, high lunge. Drop back into your warrior two, and then parallel the feet again, straight legs for your prasarita. Hands can find your hips. Take a breath in to stand nice and tall, and then your exhale to lean out. Hands find the floor, and pause here. Give the head a shake. We'll find some side lunging. So start by bending into your right knee. The right hand can follow. Inhale back to center. And exhale over to the left. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale to the right and pause. See if you can get that elbow towards the knee to help kind of open that knee a little wider. Left hand slides up to your hip and you can take a twist towards the top of the mat. Left hand drops down. Let's float the left toes and see if you can sink a little further into the hip. And if you want to work towards balance, hands can find heart center. Now, some of you might be pretty low. We're going to come to sit. Use your hands as needed. Let's come all the way down. Shift these right toes to face forward, so you're squaring off the hips, returning towards the top of the mat. Cross right foot over left leg, and we'll take a twist. Right hand drops back, float left arm. Wrap around that leg, tug in, but not so much that you're picking this right hip up, and then turn to twist. Tacking on a little bit of core work, use your stabilizers and float the right arm back, and then half wrap at the waistband. And then unravel to face forward. Pick up that right foot, take a hold of it so you've got more of a bend at the knee. I want you to lean really far back, and then I want you to come as far forward as you can, and then find that place right in between. So you're sitting directly on your sits bones. Holding on to either side of the foot without leaning back, extend through that right knee. So you might still have a little bend, totally fine. Pull your heart through, spin the elbow creases up. Now we're going to take the whole unit, rock back a little bit, and see if you can float that left leg for a split leg boat. And then a lot more leg work. Release the arms wide for a moment. And then come forward, cross ankles, tug in. Roll forward, plant your hands, and step, step, high plank. Glide all the way forward, and you've got the option to keep the knees lifted for your low plank. Upward face, and hips high, down dog. Drop your knees to the mat. Take the knees a little wider. Toes towards touch, sink the hips, child's pose. And just gather the breath for a moment. And let the elbows float, come to tented fingertips, hover the head, and take a walk off left side of mat. You can pull left hand closer, drop the head down, and crawl the right hand away. Both arms extend, walk it back to center. And here we'll take that threading, so it's the left arm that goes under. A light land on the side of the arm, side of head, and then crawl the right arm away. Right hand in front of your face. Reopen, extend left arm like a wing. Good, let that left arm reach back so you can come up to sit. Left hand drops down, right hand across for a twist. And going further, the right arm reaches up and back. And even further, the hips float up. You are not alone if you feel this more in your forearm and wrist than your legs. Good, come back down, face forward, hands to the top of the mat. Set up in your tabletop. And now it's your left leg sending back in the air. Try to hug navel to spine, strong core, press the mat away. And an inhale to lift. And an exhale to crunch under. Inhale. But this time, exhale, bend the knee, and imagine the two pieces could touch, head and heel. Inhale. Exhale under. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, really feel the spine. Exhale. Inhale. And lift. Then just reset that leg straight. You can kick the right shin, stack your hip, and get lighter on your left hand. You can reach up. Now take the right arm, reach it past the ear, and drop that foot down. Let those hips rise, big side body stretch. Lift just the leg again, and let's exhale, knee towards the elbow. And we'll take one more of those. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale, extend, drop the foot down. Left hand can lower, and this time we're climbing off the left side of the mat, so that right shin can just kind of swing back. Left leg in line with the knee, and walk the hands forward. Let the hips press back, and you can lower the head. Now lift the forehead in that same threading, so left arm goes under. Just take a reach, look under that right arm. And then return both hands under your shoulders and walk it up, hands to hips. So here's where you can really set the toes in line with the knees. Try to lower it off. Lifting on your inhale. Drop your left arm and exhale to take the lean. Come back up and lace the hands behind your head, opposite thumb on top. Elbows press back, take a lift and dive. Back to center, arms wide. We're going to take a spin around to the top of the mat. Let the feet react and step back, high plank. Glide forward. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Right leg rises. Square hip. Keep your down dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale. Now exhale, take it up and over. You're also looking forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In. Exhale. Inhale. And lift. Now just straighten the leg, lift your back heel, and step it through. Wiggle the toes to the side, left toes back. Left hand stays under a block or on the mat. Right hand slides up and take your twist. Try not to let that left shoulder collapse. And then right arm can stack. Look down, lower the hand. And inhale, rise, high lunge. Let's go right to your warrior two. Settling into that bend, dropping the shoulders. Now let's reverse your triangle, straighten the leg, reach back. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come up, pause, reaching back. Then take your hand to hip, parallel the feet, just so we can turn back. Left toes back, and then heel toe that left foot wider. Spin onto the ball of your back foot, lunge facing the back of the mat. You just want to make sure that right hip is in line with your left, so adjust the feet as needed. Twisting left, drop the right arm across, Reach the left one back. Taking the lateral stretch, left arm can reach up, and you take a little lean across. Good. Come all the way back to high lunge. Pivot to your warrior two and extend that front leg. Parallel feet. Let's take your Prasarita C. Interlace the hands at the low back. Roll the shoulders down. And then lean out. Checking that the heels are spun wider than the toes. Reaching the knuckles higher. Take some deep breath. Rise up about halfway so you can lower hands under shoulders. And let's take that lunge into your left knee. Left hand will follow. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale to the left and see if that elbow can nudge that knee a little more open. Right hand slides to your hip and take your twist. And drop the hand. We're also going to pick the toes up, those right toes, and see about lowering the hips. You could play around with balance, hands to heart. And then if you need that support, we're coming all the way down to sit. Let those left toes face forward, square your hip off. Cross the foot over, left hand back, right arm up, breath in. Wrap around and twist left. Even weight distributed in the hips. Left arm can float and wrap. And unravel yourself. You'll take a hold of this foot so that the heel is facing, or the foot is facing forward. Now I want you to sit tall and then lean back. Then lean as far forward as you can. And then rest comfortably right in the middle. Keep those hips where they are. Start to extend left leg. Now the whole unit shifts back a bit to float right leg. Try to keep the legs exactly as they are as you release the arms. And then cross and tuck in. Roll it forward. Find high plank, take your inhale. Glide all the way forward and then exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Let's come all the way through to your back. Pass through seated, come on down. Give yourself a big squeeze in. Let's take a happy baby. Drawing the thighs closer to the mat. You can continue the rock side to side. And then place the feet on the mat. Bring the feet to touch, let the knees drop wide, and place the hands on your body. Take a full breath in. Big breath out. And enjoy the next few moments to yourself. And gather the knees at center again. Let's take a rock up to sit. Thanks for hanging out today. If you enjoyed class, the best thanks you can give me is to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time.